and welcome to the Charles River Conservancy Parklands show. My name is Renata von Tscharner, and we have a guest today, Phil Crutchfield. Welcome.
Thank you.
Phil is very much connected with the Charles River. He is an advisory board member of the Charles River Conservancy, but even more importantly, he is a very active sailor and is a past president and current board member of community boating.
That's correct.
And really today, as we are getting ready to think spring, think pleasure out on the parklands, think sailing, I'd like Phil to whet the appetite for those pleasures that are waiting for us on the Charles River. Phil, tell us, how did you get involved with sailing yourself?
Well, being a transplant from California, I did a lot of water skiing out there. But when I came here, I had no idea about getting into a boat for sailing or for motoring or fishing. But I had some friends, both at work and as well socially, that started to at least suggest to me that it was a lot of fun to go sailing. But more than that, the key was that I could go sailing virtually on my doorstep.
You live in Cambridge,
That's
so
correct.
you've lived here many years.
That's right.
That's right. The T takes you right
there
to community boating next to the Longfellow Bridge.
That's right, and oftentimes I'm sure there's many people that are on the subway and they go by and they see the boats on the water, and it's quite an invitation, but some people for some reason miss it. But I was encouraged to try it, and I kept getting reminded by both friends socially and professionally to try it, and I did.
Isn't it I think the picture of when you come out of the tunnel from Kendall Square, and I think that was also shown in Good Will Hunting, the film, where he's on the red line and he comes out into the Charles, out of the tunnel, and suddenly you are on the river and you see all those boats. And so for me, that's one of those crucial moments in Boston. And on the Charles, when you see all those boats, they're out there all the time.
Well, we're the showpiece of Boston, basically. You'll see us on a lot of postcards and a lot of memorabilia, souvenir type memorabilia in which we're showcased, because it is very, very picturesque. But if I may, let me get back to how I got hooked in, because I had no idea really or an inclination to get into sailing, but I was curious enough to get out in a boat, and I was out with a young lady, and that was a challenge in itself, because I was surprised. Well, how does she know where the wind is coming from? How did she, it looked like magic.
And it changes all the time on the Charles.
Exactly, it's very, very changeable.
Yeah.
So anyway, from there, I was encouraged to continue learning, and the thing about community boating is it's a member, teach member, or volunteer type program, and so those that know how to sail and have been there frequently, or even new people, once they get a handle on it, then show other people how to sail. That's a very unique feature here. It's not that you have a paid instructor. It's you come out and you know how to sail, and I come along and I'm a newbie. So you say, well, look, do you want to come out on the water? And then you give us instruction in terms of what you know. So that's how I got it.
How long did it take you from the moment you set foot there on this beautiful site on the water between the Longfellow Bridge and the Hatchell? Once you kind of enrolled, how long until you could take a boat out by yourself?
Okay, well, that's a proverbial question that, I, as you mentioned or introduced me, I'm a current board member and a past president, and I used to conduct tours and things like that, and that was a question that always, how long does it take? And the answer is it depends. Because you get caught up with it and it becomes a passion. If you come down every day, which the community boating is open from 9 until sunset during the weekday. 1 p.m. to sunset during the weekdays, and from 9 a.m. to sunset on the weekends. So as often as you can get off of work, or as often as you decide to come down. So I got caught up in it right away.
Good.
And so it took me a while your first step is to take a written test and learn some safety rules. Then after you learn your safety rules, then you get the mechanics of some classroom instruction, and you're on the water almost as quick as you can blink an eye.
Oh,
And so you're
yeah.
really learning on the water. It's not reading a book and then studying and then going out. You learn by doing.
And I once went down there, and they have a boat that is actually on the dock. So you learn all the knots and all the sail expressions right there.
Exactly.
There seemed to be a lot of fun involved. There was
Oh,
a lot
sure.
of laughing and camaraderie there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's a very user-friendly, as I said, volunteers, members teaching members, and members teaching new people, and it's really a lot of camaraderie there.
So if somebody would like to become a sailor and would like to sign up, what would they do?
Well, first thing to do is go down like I did and show up, and you get an orientation. So we walk you around the dock and show you all the different kinds of boats. We have over 70 boats. They're 15-foot Cape Cod Mercuries. We have about 6 Rose 19s, and we have 4 Sonars, which are 23-foot boats. But anyway, you get the orientation of what we have. We also have available, if you're not inclined to sail, but you're a water surfer.
A windsurfer.
Windsurfer.
That's what I do
Right,
there.
right.
I love windsurfing.
We offer
Yeah.
a lot of things, so.
There are lessons there too, or
Right.
you can just, if you're a windsurfer, you can take the test.
Right, and
And
go right
just
out.
go,
and-
yes.
And again, the unique thing is you're right in Boston and you're on the Charles.
Oh, it's so
You didn't have to
beautiful.
go
Yeah.
way out to some exotic resort to
No.
do all of this.
No.
So, after you get the orientation, you on the water training is basically how you start. And you continue, you take a written test so that you know the basic rules, safety rules, as well as handling the boat, knowing how to rig the boat, how to de-rig the boat. And then after that, you go out as often as you can with people that are sharing their experience of showing you how they learn how to sail. And again, as I said, it depends on
Yeah.
how often you come down. But after you do that several times, if you do it a lot,
Yeah.
then you feel, oh, I'm comfortable. You go out and you take a test for a solo where you can go out by yourself.
Yeah. And